Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Chang, and I want to welcome you to Bio 156, which is Introductory Biology for Allied Health. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to kind of explain to you exactly what's going to entail in this class, exactly how to navigate Canvas, and then what our kind of structure is going to look like for this semester. So, beginning off, let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what Bio 156 has to offer and exactly what you're going to be studying and what you're going to be looking at. Now, when it comes to 156, we have four major units, and we're going to essentially start from our smallest denominator, which in this case is going to be atoms, and we're going to work our way all the way to the very top, which is going to be an organism, or in this case, maybe you. Now, looking at our first unit, one of the first things we're going to discuss and we're going to kind of look at is going to be the scientific method. Now, I'm sure many of you can think back to high school biology or essentially any science class. The scientific method is basically just a way of recognizing something you don't understand, coming up with a question, using your background knowledge in order to come up with a proper hypothesis, or in this case, a very strong educated guess, and then going about how to test it to see whether your hypothesis is going to be correct or incorrect. Once we've gone ahead and done that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our second part of the unit, which is going to be looking at atoms, molecules, and macromolecules. Again, we're going to be focusing on all of these things down over here, which is going to be a very tiny part. Atoms, incredibly tiny. They're going to be our smallest denominator in looking at any of this. And then whenever we take a bunch of our atoms, our elements, put them together, we're going to end up with our molecules. Again, we take a bunch of our molecules together, and then we'll end up producing macromolecules. And in this case, the macromolecules we'll be looking at are going to be proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. So that's going to be our first unit. Looking in at our second unit, it's all about cells. So in this case, we're going to be moving up a little further about this point here. And we're going to be looking at cells, exactly what they are, what they have inside of them, how they kind of function, how they kind of work, what makes them tick. And then we're going to be looking at osmosis. So again, some transfers of fluid. And then finally, we're going to end that off with plant animal, specifically differentiating between the two, seeing what the differences are, what some of the similarities are going to be. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our third unit, which is going to be cellular respiration. So again, we went ahead and checked all of this stuff out in our first and second unit. And our third, we're going to be looking specifically more at this right here. And we're going again, we're going to be looking at cell respiration, how they kind of get their energy. And then we're going to be looking at DNA structure and gene expression, specifically what DNA is, what's it look like, what's going on with it, how is it going to replicate, what does it have to do with our cells, all of those things. And then finally, our gene expression, exactly how we're going to physically be seeing some of these traits. And then finally, our unit 4, we're going to be looking at cell division and genetics. Now, this is the part where we're going to cover all of these portions over here. So in our cell division, we're going to see exactly how this right here is going to divide out and how they're going to differentiate and produce different types of tissues right here. And those are going to produce different organs, and all of those together are going to create our organ systems. And then again, we're going to look at our genetics, and we're going to see exactly how our genetics are going to play into all of our separate pieces here, how we're going to express certain things, how we have different types of things like eye color, hair color, skin color, things like that. And that kind of wraps everything up when it comes to Bio 156. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and transition over to Canvas and see exactly how we're going to navigate that, what's going on with it, and what our flow of a typical week is going to look like. So looking at this over here, this is what yours should look like. Our homepage is going to give us a description of exactly what's going on for this course, but what we're going to focus on is going to be our modules. And in our modules, you'll notice that we're in our unit 0. So if you're able to find this video, then you most likely have already kind of looked through some of these pieces. So I'll kind of quickly touch on some of these. Our first part is going to be our syllabus. So we're just basically looking at exactly what goes on with the class, what are the classroom norms, things like that. And then our schedule, which is basically when things are going to be due, kind of what the flow of the class is going to look like. Now, one thing that is going to be really important is you do have to do the syllabus quiz, and it does need to be completed by the 18th or you will be dropped. One of the big reasons why we do this or why the school does this is to check for enrollment to make sure that you're actively in the classroom and that it's more of a little bit of a formality to make sure everybody's exact is supposed to be exactly where they're supposed to be. So in this case, it's going to be in the form of a syllabus quiz. So all you're doing here is you can answer a couple questions based upon the syllabus. It should be pretty easy, and it should be a pretty easy 4 points to snag, which will give you a really good start for the course. Now, once you're done with all that, you might want to check this out. So this kind of is where some people might differentiate. If you have taken an online course before, then you might not need to look at this stuff. But if you haven't, this is going to be a great resource for you as well. Not only is it going to give you an opportunity to enroll into a different class for free to kind of see exactly what the um, outlook of what e-learning looks like, things like that. It also is going to help you navigate Canvas. But again, if you're a veteran user, you do not need to go through this part. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at our first week, or this week, and exactly what's going on here and what the typical flow would look like for a class. So you'll always have these 4 sections in each one of these weeks. And the best way to kind of navigate and do this is starting from the very top and moving your way to the very bottom. At the very top over here, you'll notice that we'll always have an engage section. So this is going to be your introductory kind of video or some information. Definitely checking this out, giving you exactly an idea of exactly what's happening. And then our learning outcomes. What are we trying to accomplish for this week? Once you've looked at that, then you're going to want to go ahead and move on to the next section, which is our listen, watch, and learn. So this is going to be where our lectures are going to be located. Now, in the lectures, you're going to notice some interesting things. First one is you'll notice that there's going to be our PowerPoint slides here. So if you want to download these, you're more than welcome to. You can use these to help study with. You can use them to review. You can use them however you want to. But again, this is available to you if that's something you're interested in. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is the instructional videos. This is again where your lectures are going to be. And you're going to notice that there's going to be 2 different sets of videos covering the same topic. One of the things about this class that we're very fortunate to have is Dr. Karth went ahead and shared a lot of her videos with me, and I want to make sure that those are available to you as well. The reason why is because it gives you a different perspective from a different teacher. So let's say that you don't really like the way I do my videos, you're kind of tired of hearing my voice, you want to hear a different perspective, then you're always more than welcome to check out Dr. Karth. I understand that a lot of people have different learning strategies, or different types of learners, and I might work for some people, Dr. Karth's video might work for others. So definitely utilize both of those to help you move forward. And then at the very bottom here, you'll notice that there's going to be supplementary videos. Now, these supplementary videos essentially kind of help reinforce what you've learned in the instructional videos and in the instructional slides. Again, these are things to kind of help you further understand or have a better understanding of the topic that we're talking about. So again, this is what a typical week 1 will look like. Okay, so moving on to our deepened thinking, this is where some of our assignments are going to be, or this is where our assignments are going to be. You'll notice below here, it will tell you the amount of points that each assignment is worth, and it'll also let you know when that due date is going to be. So please make sure they keep an eye out for these, and please make sure they have an idea of when some of these due dates are approaching, because they can come pretty rapidly. And then finally, our close strong is going to be our quizzes. So this is going to be a comprehensive kind of quiz that's going to cover everything that we kind of talked about. So again, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to display your knowledge and your mastery of all of the content that you looked at. Now, one thing that you aren't going to see in week 1 that you will see in all the other weeks are going to be this down here, which is going to be our muddy points. So what muddy points essentially are going to be is a discussion board, and this is going to be essentially here to accomplish 2 things. One, it's supposed to help students who might be a little bit confused pose questions, ask things like that, and allow their peers to kind of answer and help them or guide them along in their quest for understanding. This is also a great opportunity for you to showcase your understanding of the content. So when it comes to those money points, you are going to be responsible for one initial post, and then you are responsible for 2 responses to your peers. So again, use this as an opportunity to look for greater understanding of our topic, or this is going to be a great opportunity for you to showcase your understanding and kind of help out your peers in some of those more difficult topics. Okay, and then you'll notice that our week 2 is closed. So as time goes on, each week will open up and you will have an opportunity to go through all of those things. But again, you'll notice that we have the same different type of sections. We have our engage, listen, watch, learn, deepen thinking, and our close strong. Another way that you can kind of view all of this is if you go ahead and go to our calendar, you'll notice that it's also going to show you exactly when things are going to be due, when to kind of look at things. So again, it gives you a more visual representation of exactly when you should be doing certain things. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is going to be how to contact me. Now, one thing that is super important for you to understand is, unfortunately, I don't live in the state of Arizona. I don't know if you noticed this down here, but it's -5 where I currently live. I live in Illinois. So I am in a different state, but I absolutely do want to make sure that I am here for you and that I'm able to answer any of your questions. I'm able to help you out however I can. And you'll notice on my syllabus, it will say, if you want to have a meeting with me, that it is under request. And the reason why I say that is because here in Illinois, we are about 1 hour ahead of you guys. And during daylight savings time, we are 2 hours ahead. So I want to make sure that, we communicate first, we schedule a time that works for the both of us so we can meet, talk, discuss, I can answer any of your questions, things like that. So that kind of has to do with my office hours. The next thing I want to mention is how you can contact me. Now, the preferred method is going to be Canvas inbox. One of the big reasons why is because you're already on Canvas. It's really easy for me to see. I can respond to you in a very timely manner. If you want to, you're absolutely more than welcome to email me. That's going to be justinchang@estradamountain.edu. This is definitely not preferred. The reason why is because on average, I receive about 30, 40 emails, and it's very easy for those emails to get lost. So it's not always the preferred method of communication. Now, if you do email me, I will make sure to always get back to you within at least 24 hours. 48 if it's over the weekend, but again, not preferred just because I do get piled with tons and tons of emails. So Canvas is definitely going to be preferred. Now, if you want another way to contact me quickly, I do have a Remind 101 page. And I am going to try to use this to send out reminders. I'll message you with upcoming tests and quizzes, things like that. My page name is going to be Bio156 Mr. Chang, and then that code is going to be GAF7K2. So again, that's another way for you to contact me if that's something you prefer. If you want to shoot me a message on there, you absolutely can. And then if you want, that's another way for us to connect and communicate. We can do calls on there, things like that. If, again, that's your preferred method of communication. So that kind of wraps up everything that has to do with Bio 156. I really look forward to being your instructor this semester. And remember, please make sure you're looking over the syllabus and make sure you're doing that syllabus quiz. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I look forward to interacting, collaborating with all of you.